So first off, welcome to our third installment of our Tennessee Power App. Today, we're going to talk about our daily plan. And this kind of falls right in line with what we've been mentioning all week long, which is our lead gen model. Because to do lead gen, first off, we have to make certain that we're being consistent with it and also dedicating the time to it. So first off, have your video on. And this is no different than if Bad Dad was actually hosting the video that we all know. And Bad Dad will be on our Friday call. Chris is on vacation, so you'll see Bad Dad there tomorrow or Ben. So, but before we get started, kind of tell me where some of our values showed up. And go ahead and unmute yourself and share. You guys are being way too shy. So I know Steven's had a bunch of wins in his team. So how about it? Who there's going to volunteer? Who had a win or showed me where your values showed up as far as grit, results, doing a leaders only mentality, building wealth, teamwork, or humility? And you guys are all exercising humility right now.
Hey, I'll share if you don't mind.
Okay, hold on. We're going to go Charlotte, then we'll do Steven. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, let Steven go. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Steven.
Charlotte. Just gonna a couple of people, some fresh on our team. We're in the Hendersonville area, but we worked together in Clarksville for years, and so he kind of moved geographical locations, getting us closer to home.
I think I lost Steve. All right, we're going to come back to him. Charlotte, go ahead.
Hey, I just want to talk about teamwork. I'm so proud of my team. Last week, between Friday and Saturday, in 24 hours, 7 people put 12 pieces of business together. So I was really proud of them. They've been working really, really hard, and we've got a listing contest going on, and a lot of that were listings. And so that's teamwork. They've been working really hard.
Fantastic. Way to go. Okay. Who else? Give me two more.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Jana Brown. So this is kind of a brag on Wes a little bit, but he and I have been working on a guy who's trying to decide between, I guess, two agents. And so we just kind of keep pressing, and he just asked lots of questions. And so I think as of like late yesterday, he was like, okay, I'm gonna go with you guys. So thankful to Wes, and just kind of following through and believing that we could bring the best experience for this seller. So thankful for that.
Congratulations to you, Jana, for doing that. Steve, I see you got back on. Go ahead, you cut out there. Oh, I thought he got back on. He must have been in a bad area or anything. One more share. You guys are not this shy when you guys go prospecting. I know that. Give me one more. Who's going to do it?
I hosted a little Brevity Bash in the office Tuesday. A brand new agent on our team that has 2 years experience under her belt came, and she was able to make 100 calls through Brevity. So that was very exciting. She is going to be a very good member to our team.
Very good. Great. I appreciate that. Guys, and a lot of times as far as when you share on this, what it's going to do is it's going to help your presentation skills. You're going to be growing as a leader. You're going to be doing probably more and more virtual presentations online with people. And it's a great practice because here, this is what we call a safe space. Because I mean, we can laugh and joke. We're all like family being here in Tennessee. And that's the great thing about this format here. So Steve, you had cut off before. Go ahead and finish sharing what you had.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to my signal, West, but I was just saying Preston Roberts is pushing us here back closer to home, allowing us to keep cranking in the Clarksville area, but while trying to grow business here and learn a lot from our other Tennessee partners. And he's definitely showing grit. And I had an agent yesterday, I don't know if she's on the call, her name's Dia. We had a dead seller lead. And I said, you know what, just go BIM verify them, find some other numbers, try to get them on the phone. Dia got them on the phone. They said they were interviewing another agent. They didn't need our help. She went and knocked on the door. We went back at 5:30 last night, and I think she's going to take an $800,000 listing because she went and knocked on the door. So definitely a little bit of grit I'm seeing over there. I'm very proud of those agents.
Isn't that so neat? When we do follow-up, it always turns out that we get the listing, but when we don't do follow-up, we wonder why.
We wonder why.
Absolutely. All right. One of the things I want to talk about is our daily plan. And this is something that's going to help you guys accomplish what you need to do if you just invest 15 minutes each day to achieve success on this. You guys are going to see great results from it. Okay. And you look at what stops us from winning. Ben had us talk about this last week on Monday on our partners call as far as what are the top 3 things that we've been wanting to do that we struggle with. And every one of them, when you broke it down, came down to production. And we said, well, all right, well, what is that problem? First off, do we know how to solve it? And a lot of times it was just, we weren't putting it on our schedule. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today, because if we're all struggling that, and we've been doing this for years, I'm sure everybody else is having some issues with it too. And Ben came up with this program called the Daily Plan. And this is what he uses for his success. And you look at everything that he needs to do, I think it's a good role model to do. Because a lot of times what we do is we're being busy and not productive. We're going to trainings, we're doing different things, but we're not being productive with what we need to. The other part is we wake up, we don't even have a plan. And then when we find out that day, we're actually working on other people's priorities. And you can imagine what that's going to do for your success if you're working on other people's priorities all the time. It's not going to move your priorities forward, which is what we want to do. So how can we prevent this from happening? And the first thing is visualize what winning looks like. And that's commit to do the hard things first. And it's like the old eat the frog kind of thing, where we're going to take the toughest thing and do it very first thing. The next, we're going to remember sometimes the goal is going to be incremental. Our goal may be to increase our database, and we're not going to increase it 300 in one day. Or it may be just to start filling up our lead funnel. And we're going to do that slowly. It's not going to be something where we do it all in one day. So we can't stand back and say, you know what, I need to replace a part in my girlfriend's car. I got it done. You can stand back and say, I did that. But it can't be something that, we can't always sit back and say it's completed. The next is having the success each day will have us build momentum for success. Everybody always feels good after they get a win. Just like the person that went out and had that great conversation with $800,000 listing, and also with Jana, where she got the guy to finally sign the listing after 3 weeks of follow-up and meeting with him. Just keep filling up your lead funnel, working your sphere of influence. Those are all types of things you're going to build successes through those. And it doesn't have to be something where you hit a home run every single time. Always look as far as where you are today, as far as how many people are in your hots now versus your nurtures that you didn't have yesterday. So how do we create this daily plan? Well, the night before, we're actually going to take a moment and we're going to visualize what winning looks like tomorrow. If we said, you know what, I had a great day, I knocked it out of the park, this is what I did, what would that look like for each one of us? Okay, would it be signing the listing? Would it be going on an appointment? Whatever that winning looks like, visualize in your mind what that looks like. And then also take a look next as far as what's on your calendar. If you got a bunch of stuff on your calendar and it's not towards your winning, you probably got some wrong stuff on your calendar. So we want to cancel everything that's not important. And then you go back to it because you may have other people's priorities on there again. So that's why we're canceling everything that's not important on the calendar. The next one is plan out your rituals. Now, what these are things that are going to keep you motivated. They're also going to keep you with energy so you can come and you can actually bring your best every place you go. It could be snacks. It could be taking breaks. It could be reading. It could be exercise. It could be meditating, praying. We're going to talk more about each one of these though, but plan your rituals out. The next one is set your schedule for the whole day and set alarms on your phone. Now, when we say set your schedule, it does not mean schedule every 15 minutes of your day. We're going to talk about white spaces, but go ahead and set your schedule for the day as far as, where you're going to have your rituals and when are you going to be working on your priorities. And then make a verbal commitment to stick to your schedule. And when you do this, this is going to solidify as far as holding yourself accountable because you're telling others about it too, along with yourself. So let's take a look at each one of these now individually. Review your calendar. Match your calendars with priorities and with winning, okay? And as we go through and we look at our calendar, what is on our calendar that we can cancel today? Is it a webinar that we really aren't going to get enough out of that's going to move our business forward that we could take later? Okay, work off your priority list. I want you to brain dump everything that you're thinking of that you need to get done on a sheet of paper. Get out a Sharpie, get out a blank piece of paper and go through and write it all down. Now you've got a basis as far as what your priority lists are. All right, now of those, what is the single most important thing I need to accomplish today? And that's your number one priority. And you work on that. You don't go to number two until you finish up number one, because that's not going to move your business forward. The next thing, if you cannot do more than 2 items in a day, do the most important things on your list. You do not have to accomplish everything. Work on the most important thing, because if you work on the most important thing, you're going to find out that it's just going to layer your business and you're going to be able to stair step it up and up and up. And one of the first things, we always talk about is scripts. Scripts moves your business forward more than anything else, but it's always an incremental increase. You're going to get slowly better and slowly better, but you have to work on those scripts every day. If not, you're going to stumble. You're not going to be able to close the deal, and then you're going to be in trouble with it, and then you're going to get frustrated. So always work on the most important things first. Okay? Do these things that make the day a win, because you want to make the day a win. You don't want to make it where it's just okay. By doing this, you're going to be able to do the 20% that's going to help you accomplish your 80%. And everybody's heard that terminology before. If you do 20% what you need, that's going to give you 80% of the results that you want. 20% of the people do 80% of the production in real estate. Now, when you plan your rituals out, we're doing this so we've got the stamina, the emotional control, and the energy to accomplish today. Okay? It could be listening to podcasts or books. And hopefully you guys are all listening to Win, Make, Give as a great podcast, because it talks about leadership, legacy, and wealth. So always listen to that one. That's a great one to listen to. Also is exercise. And it could be exercise isn't real keen on it, but again, you need to make certain that you're going to have the energy where you can complete the whole day. You don't want to just go halfway through it. Hydrate. And again, this is a big one. It's important you guys drink enough water, because if you don't, your body starts shutting down. And so always have your water. And then what is your goal to drink water? And some people say half your body weight in ounces is what you need to drink. And that's a lot of water. But again, you can drink that in form of tea and other things. But again, hydrate, make certain you emphasize that. Also eating, bring snacks to work. If you don't bring snacks to work, you're going to go down to the little snack monkey place and get the little cookies. And we actually have a chocolate house here at our market center. And I've been guilty as far as going over there and grabbing one of those when I don't have my little snacks with me and stuff, because I love the chocolate on that. But again, make certain that you're bringing your snacks to work. They're going to be healthy snacks. They're also going to be long-term and give you energy that you need. Praying and meditating, if it's just 10 minutes a day. taking that time, sit there and kind of reflect on it. This is going to help your emotional control when you get that buyer or that seller and they're really pushing it as far as, they don't understand. You have to take a moment, divorce yourself from the emotion of the transaction and just take a look. How can I help this person accomplish their goals? So again, do that praying and meditating too, and set up that time. Also reading and having the book that you want to read just a little bit out of each day. It could be by your bedside. It could be, in your bag, during the day and at lunchtime, you bring out your book while you're eating lunch. And again, you're able to move that forward as far as planning your rituals. And the other part is set alarms on your phone. Your alarms are going to tell you when to do your daily plan the night before. Also, as far as, hey, it's time to take a break, go ahead and grab a snack, walk around a little bit so you refresh your mind. Because if you do it more than 90 minutes, you just lose your effectiveness and you're not at it 100%. So you always want to sit there and be at your best. Now, after you've done that, we want to put it on our schedule. So schedule the items out, okay? Set the alarms on your phone so they remind you. If it's not enough time in the day and you're setting up all these priorities, then it may not really be a priority then. That's what you have to decide. If I just don't have enough time, what is the one thing I am going to get done? It's better to show up 150% for a few tasks and 70% for a bunch of tasks. Who do you know that's actually ever been great at something that does something 70% of the time, but about a whole bunch of things? Typically, it's one thing they do, and they do it at such a high level. That's what they always get known for, and that's what they always achieve. So again, always show up at 150%. Schedule breaks or white spaces where you can just think, recap calls, meetings, make notes. After you get done with your prospecting, you go through and you pull up your Mojo and you see the recap of what you called so you can enter those people into Brivity that you want to follow up on to make certain that you're putting them in drip campaigns. Or it could be after a call with a client that you took on your phone because they called your cell phone. You need to go put those notes in Brivity so you don't forget. You may need to set a task then too. But if you don't have that white space that you can just sit there and say, I'm going to stop and recap what that call was, or right after the morning huddle, what are things we're going to do differently to make it different? So make your notes, recap it, and then also make a verbal commitment as far as we're going to accomplish these things. And you do one day at a time, okay? Things will come up and you may not accomplish what you want to. Because we all know we've had those crazy days in real estate, okay? And if that's the case, just commit again tomorrow. You guys are going to be able to pick it up. David Goggins, when they interviewed David, he always talked about he had to lose 80 pounds to join the military. 80 pounds. Well, he put his sales goal up on his goal up on the mirror as far as what his weight goal was, and it was just 1 pound. And when he got that 1 pound, he would take it off and then he put the weight that he needed to be next, and it was 1 pound more. So just take a look at it, just eat it slowly, one bite at a time. But again, make certain that you're setting your goal up and just keep recommitting to it. Because there were days he didn't lose that 1 pound, but he would just recommit and then attack it again. Also get accountability partners. One thing we're very fortunate about is we've got some great partnerships that we're in throughout Tennessee here. You've got your great team leaders there. You've also got great team members. You got significant others. Put it on social media as far as what you're going to do. I'm going to go on 6 appointments this week. Okay. It does a couple things. One, it tells everybody in real estate. Also, it tells you, what you're doing as far as going out there, showing you're busy, showing you're hungry. But again, put it on social media as far as what you're going to do. And then also just follow up with it and say goal accomplished. What that does, it shows you that you actually went out, you hunted it, you killed it, and you brought it back home. And recommit every day. Each day that you go through, you're going to have some great wins, and those are you just can't wait to set the next day's appointment. Just can't wait. You're so excited because you got that win. I'm going to go get another one now. Okay. It's kind of like chocolate cake. You had one piece, it was so good, you're going to go get another piece of chocolate cake now. Okay. So those are kind of things that you want to take a look at. But you're also going to recommit every day. If you don't do it, those are days that are tough to sit there and say, I got to go back and do it again. And that's where that grit comes in. and say, all right, I'm going to go back and I'm going to set appointments today. I didn't get any today, but I'm going to get them tomorrow. So when you review our results at the end of the day, we also do that one day at a time. And we're going to review at the end of the day, was it successful? And if it was, great. If not, I want you to ask another question. Was it more successful doing the plan the day before than when you did not follow this model? And I would think that every one of them, it would be, because you're following a plan and you actually went through and thought about it, and you're putting those times in when you're doing your rituals, you're doing your hydrating, you're doing your meditating, you're doing the things that are moving your business forward. So always keep in mind, it may not be 100% successful, but it's going to be more successful than when we did not have the plan. Okay. And then take a look, what changes do we need to make? When we went through the plan, where are places you know that I need to do? I got hungry at 9:30. I need to move my snack time up to that because I didn't do that, or I brought the wrong snacks. Okay. Those are just simple ones. It could be, what changes do I need to make? I need to go right into phone calls because I get tied up if I don't go into my prospecting for sale by owners. I get talking to my spirit and I get off on tangents. Okay. Remember to block less than 50% of your day. And that's what we always talk about. We do our prospecting in the morning, afternoons are open, so we can go on those appointments as we need to. And if not, we can do more calls and get more appointments in. So that's the great part about what we do. And remember, you're going to make this a habit. And according to the one thing, it takes 66 days to make a habit. So again, it's going to be a while before it's just locked in and it's working well. And then recommit to just one more day of following the plan. You're going to find out you're going to be happier, you're going to be more productive, and you're going to sleep better. Because as you do these things, you're not going to have to worry about where's my business coming from. You're going to have your hopper filled up. You're going to have enough leads. You're going to have enough people that are in the pipeline as far as getting ready to list or showing homes for buyers, that you're not going to have those type of issues. Because what keeps people up in our business as far as just not having the clients that are ready to go and move forward. So I want you guys to remember something. Lucky is where skill meets persistence. And that's what you guys do great. So kind of tell me some of the takeaways you guys have gotten from this.
She must be in Nashville. Well, we got Nashville, Chattanooga. What was the question?
What are your takeaways from our one-day plan?
What are your takeaways, Preston, since you unmuted yourself?
My takeaways.
Mhm.
Follow a plan and leave 50% of your schedule open so you can, prepare to set appointments that day.
Absolutely. That's a great one. What would you do differently to kind of follow up on this now? Tonight, when would you sit there?
Differently?
Go ahead.
Did you say what would I do differently?
Yep. Or where are you going to start with this now?
Let's see. Write it down. Have it written down, have it in the calendar. And set alarms.
Mr. West, what stuck out to me today was the purposeful scheduled white space. I plan the night before, but my day is usually planned a bit more than 50%. I'm a bit of an overachiever in my own little mind. So thank you for saying to have purposeful white space so we can reflect, prayer, meditation. I think that's very good, a very good thing to remember. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm Jana. I would say what I kind of heard is that we're like pretty simple creatures and that we need like specific guidance. And then, I mean, you know, I do have a dog. And so I'm kind of thinking like my dog has a few words and commands that she can do. And we stick with those, but it kind of works. Language barrier, obviously, but you know, it's kind of going back to simple stuff that we kind of know, but I need direction. You know, I need to kind of be kept on the path. Just and so it comes back to like, let's not make me too complex of a person. I just need guidance because those simple things are still hard for me to do. So I would say just let myself be guided by a plan and just see if I can stick with the simple stuff.
Good share. Anybody else?
I think for me, as a new agent, you have all these ideas in your head and you want to accomplish everything. And the analogy of your friend needing to lose 80 pounds, but instead of looking at it as a whole of 80 pounds, just taking it 1 pound at a time. So I can really correlate with that and puts it in another perspective for me. So thank you.
Very good. All right, I'm gonna also share something too, is this is a direct thing that came off of Ben's Win, Make, Give podcast, and I'll send that out to everybody. Actually, I'll send it to team leaders where they can share it, where you can actually listen to Ben, Bob, and Chad actually go through the same plan. We do have the slide deck I can share with you guys, so you guys can take notes from it too. And before we go, tell me what you're grateful for. And I want to hear from a couple people we have not heard from yet.
Mr. West. Hey, mute that, Sam. I'm grateful for my team leader, Steve Gilbert, and Mike Pardue and Preston Rogers. They got busy schedules outside of real estate, but whenever we need something, they're always ready to spring in action for us.
Steve is amazing. I agree. Very good. Who else? Two more.
Hey, everybody's waiting. I mean, I might as well speak up. I'm just grateful to see another day and make it right again. You know, I mean, try to rewrite my wrongs and prepare for tomorrow as I repair yesterday.
There we go.
Well, that's a great share. We all got wrongs and stuff, so we can all sit there and do something good.
Really easily now.
Yeah. I had 2 pieces of chocolate cake. That was a wrong, and I could do some more exercise from it last night. So, and I'm a big, big fan of baked goods, just to let you know. And my team knows that too. So if it's a baked good, I'm there. Cookies, cake, man, not good. But that's why I go to the gym each day. One more.
I'm grateful that I've just built really good connections with some past clients I've talked to. I just followed up with a client I worked with about like 6 months ago and just following up with them, and like they want to get together and grab a drink in a couple weeks. And I'm like, I just love that about real estate. You just are able to create relationships with people, and they don't always have to be straight on real estate all the time. So grateful for that.
Very good. Appreciate you guys all being on the call today. Also, the ones that shared, I appreciate those too. If you didn't share, I want you guys to share next week when we're on the call. And again, this is going to help you guys more and more, because step out of your comfort zone. Every time you do that, you guys are going to grow. And that's one of our values, is growth. So again, make certain you're growing every day. Step out, be uncomfortable, and just embrace being uncomfortable. Steve, you got any words of wisdom for us? Sign off here.
Say it again, Wes, sorry.
What'd you say, Wes?
Got any words of wisdom to pass on to everybody?
Wes, one of the people always ask me that I'm the least wise of all of our leaders. But I would love to hear from you, Miss Charlotte, but we're blessed to be here.
You know, people that say they're the least wise always have the most to share. And everybody on your team already knows that, so.
Man, we're excited to be here. I'm so glad we started doing this.
All right, guys, you guys have a great day and a great weekend. We will see you all on the call tomorrow. Remember, Bad Dad's there, videos on, and jump in and participate, okay? See ya.
Thank you.
Let's go.